Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Lokman Hakim bin Nazri. I'm from section 11. My matric number is B13231068.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Aiman bin Mustami Ilahi Suhaimi. My matrix number B13231069.
Assalamualaikum, my name Muhammad Azim Syamil bin Muhammad Yuri. My matric number is B13231059. I'm from section 2/1.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali Faikal bin Sarudin. I'm from BMKA, section 1-1. My matric number is B132310027.
Firstly, we run the software and select the test that we want to run. First one is brake and second is weight. After that, we select N1, that is the vehicle that we want to test. We select no for trailing hitch. After that, we move the car to the scale to measure the weight of front tire first. Then we move the car to the roller to do the braking test. Then we press start and the roller starting to roll. And then we brake the car until the tire slip. After that, we move the rear tire to the scale to measure the weight. Then, we move the tire to the roller and repeat the step to test the rear brake. Lastly, we save the result and print the result.
Okay, so this is the result. See in the diagram have three graph. Graph number 1 is brake front axle, and graph number 2 is brake rear axle, and graph number 3 is parking. And this is data for brake.
Discussion question number 1. Based on the inspection of observation, why are the brake force left hand and right hand must have a difference of less than 30%? Discussed based on Malaysia Puspakom regulation. In Malaysia, the Puspakom regulation specify that the brake force difference between the left hand and right hand side of a vehicle must not exceed 30% to ensure safety and proper vehicle performance. Here are the key reasons behind this requirement. The first one is vehicle stability and control. When apply the brake, the car may pull to the side with greater braking force if there is an imbalance in brake force. particularly at faster speed or when stopping in an emergency. This pull may cause the car to become unstable, raising the possibility of misshape. Number 2. Even tire wear. Uneven braking force causes uneven tire wear on either side of the vehicle. Over time, this imbalance can lead to reduced tire grip and handling performance, compromising safety. Number 3. Effective braking performance. The force exerted to both sides must be as balanced as feasible for the braking mechanism to function well. Increased stopping length can result from a considerable differential that's lower overall braking efficiency. Number 4. Compliance with regulatory standard. Under Puspakom guideline, vehicle must meet safety standard to be deemed roadworthy. The 30% threshold ensures that the vehicle braking system is operating within a safe margin and is capable of maintaining stability under normal and emergency braking conditions. And lastly, passenger and road user safety. An unbalanced braking system can compromise passenger safety and pose a risk to other road users. By regulating the brake force difference, Puspakom aims to minimize such risks and enhance overall road safety.
Okay, then discussion. The question is, what would happen if adherence different more than 10%? If the adherence difference between the left and right side of a vehicle exceeds 10%, it can lead to serious safety and performance issue, particularly during braking and high-speed maneuver. Here, breakdown of the potential sequence. Number 1, vehicle instability. Uneven traction make the vehicle pull to one side, reducing stability during acceleration or braking. Number 2, increased risk of skidding or spinning. The side with lower grip may lose the traction first, increasing the chance of skidding during sharp turning or sudden braking. Number 3, uneven braking efficiency. One side brakes more effectively than the other, causing a yawing effect that increases stopping distance and reduce control. Number 4, tire wear and tear. The tire with higher grip wear out more quickly due to increased friction and load. And the last, poor handling and steering response. Reduced balance in traction lead to less precise steering and difficultly maintaining a straight path.
Assalamualaikum. Discussion: brake force result based on ruler testing result. The brake force obtained for the front left wheel is 1470 Newton, and for front right wheel 1370 Newton, which has a different 6.8%. The brake force obtained for the rear left wheel is 1890 Newton, and for rear right wheel is 2000, which had a difference of 5.5%. There was a 26 discrepancy is the parking brake force measured for the rear left wheel, which is 1470 Newton, and the rear right wheel, which is 1990 Newton. Conclusion: a thorough grasp of the major element affecting vehicle dynamics and safety is provided by the slip and harass and braking test lab session. Students learn important lessons about the principle governing vehicle control and stabilities under different conditions by investigating the relationship between slip, tire road adhesion, and braking performance. Discuss and assess the significance of improving tire performance, creating efficient braking system, and comprehending how road surface feature affect vehicle behavior through practical experiment and data analysis. The practical experiment highlight the importance of maintaining surface traction and Effection braking to ensure road safety, reinforcing theoretical principle.